She was weeks away from giving birth to her second child and surrounded by people she trusted. But one of them had spent months building an elaborate lie, waiting for the right moment to make it real. What followed became one of the most disturbing true crime cases in recent memory. Tonight, we examine the murder of Reagan Simmons-Hancock. I'm Mike.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Dave. Hey, y'all. If you thought C-sections only happened in hospitals, stick around. I know it's the age of remote work, but this is ridiculous. This is Necronomipod.
Well, out of the gate, I guess I should probably let everyone know that I am feeling quite not good today.
Oh.
I have been kindly but boldly asked to not come to the studio. And I have been locked down in my basement. So we are doing this show remote, which is the first one we've done in a while, actually. But yeah, I'm not feeling good today. This is rough.
We appreciate your not wanting to give us your summer ailment.
Fucking pussy.
Well, hey, just being safe here, pal.
It would be rough. I mean, the studio we use now is like a really small, more intimate room. Like if one of us is sick, we're all fucked. So better to be safe than sorry. I don't even know if I'm actually sick. I was telling you off the air, it just feels like when you're like in the sun all day or like in hot all day, how like you just kind of feel like shit afterwards. That's how I feel, except I haven't been out in the heat. Right. So I feel like once I get through this show, I just need a cold shower and some rest and I'll be back at it.
Sounds great. I hope so.
The cold shower.
We're all pulling for you. Yeah, we're all pulling for you here.
Thanks. I might start a GoFundMe.
Should.
Help Mike not get too hot. He's a pansy and doesn't do well when he's a little overheated.
Timing's going to be a little off tonight.
The what?
It's been a while since I had to time based on video. I think we're going to talk over each other a little bit tonight. I'm trying to do some pauses here.
Yeah, people have to bear with us. We're trying. It was this or no show this Sunday because we're on a time crunch because I'm going to be out of town. So we had to get it done.
Yep.
I think they'd rather have us talking over a little than no show at all.
Yep.
And goddamn, we picked a real feel-good show. What the fuck you doing, Ian?
I did not suggest this one. This was a Dave suggestion, and I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Holy cow. So
my wife was watching this. I'm like, what the fuck? What are you watching? And I said, don't watch that. And I was like, this is fucking nuts. What is going on here?
I'll say two things with that. One, well, I guess the first one, the first part is like, obviously we talk about all the time. Like I don't watch a lot of true crime stuff. Usually if I do, it's related to the show. Like Ian will be like, hey, you guys should watch this documentary. It'll kind of go with our notes or blah, blah, blah. So I watched this one and it really made me think like, how do people watch this stuff for fun? I felt physically ill watching this documentary at some parts. This was so rough. And like, I'm glad people enjoy it. We have a show because of stuff like this. But like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't watch this stuff and be like, oh, there's a new murder documentary. Can't wait to watch it. I twice during this felt like I might throw up because it was so upsetting.
I agree. It's pretty. I also don't watch a lot of stuff like this. I just happened upon this because it was on in my house. But yeah, it's very disturbing. It's called Maternal Instinct, by the way, on Netflix. I know sometimes we talk about documentaries and we forget to mention the name. So I'm actively trying not to do that.
There's also
Instinct.
Maternal Instinct. Yeah. There's also a movie that came out like 2 years ago under the same name. So be careful.
Oh, there's a movie too.
Yeah. Let me look that up.
Yeah, there's since we're talking about the documentary now.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump the gun.
Oh, no, you're fine. And I'm sure that most listeners or a lot of our listeners have watched the documentary. I've enjoyed this kind of covering more recent topics too. This one, I researched this and wrote it in full before I even watched the documentary. And then I went back and made notes. I've been a fan of that process these past couple of shows.
Yeah. And I'm sure it's nice because then like your notes aren't like guided by the documentary.
Right, exactly.
You can just plug in some extra facts after watching it.
In the documentary, there's like the investigation point, and I knew what was coming because I had researched this already, right? I had written it in full, so I knew what was coming. I guess the 911 call in this case is just, it's horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard to listen to it in the documentary. It's a whole different, I don't know, man. Like you hear about, I've listened to a ton of different 911 calls over the years researching this, and that one was like almost like a movie. Like what you think it would feel like, it actually sounded like on that 911 call.
Awful. One of the worst things I've ever heard.
So, yeah, I guess that's a fair content warning for moving forward, I guess, if anybody hasn't watched the documentary yet.
They're going to be dying for more information after hearing all this. Like, oh, hell yeah, I can't wait to jump in.
Yeah, there's levels to the true crime stuff, at least for me anymore, right? It's like the investigation and the digging is the very interesting part. And then there's cases that are so fucking dark that it's just uncomfortable. And this one is like really teetering that line between like that one that Gonzalez kid. Remember that one where that kid was like essentially just tortured to death?
Yes.
Like that's something that we will just never cover.
I can't.
I almost couldn't finish watching that documentary, right? Like this one is kind of teetering into that territory a bit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So after we just sold the episode in such an uplifting way.
God.
Reagan Simmons was born on November 14th, 1998 in Hope, Arkansas. Her parents split up when she was little and they both remarried. Her mom's second marriage is how Reagan ended up in Texas, and she grew up there with step-siblings and half-siblings around her.
Now, boys, I don't mean to brag or anything, but you know who else was born in Hope, Arkansas? Your favorite president, William Jefferson Clinton. That's me, fellas.
Was he really born in Hope? Is that for real?
Sure as hell was, Ian. I think I'm telling tall tales. Hope, Arkansas.
I'd say it's a 50-50 if that's the truth or not.
That's 100% the truth. You know, also famous for giant watermelons in Hope, Arkansas.
I did not think he was going to go with watermelons after saying giant.
It's a good soil back there in Hope. It's where I get my massive cum shot from all the fruits and vegetables I ate that were growing in that soil. So good earth down there in Hope, Arkansas.
To hear more about President Bill Clinton's diet, go check out patreon.com/Necronomipod. We just did Mike's History Corner, breaking down presidential diets.
I love to eat, boys. I used to. I had to get over that. Bad heart. Bad ticker. Can't fuck with a bad ticker.
There are two presidents whose diet is gives Mike Namapod hope, and because of what they eat and how long they have lived, and that is Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. There might be hope for me after all.
Just keep your dick wet and you'll be all right, Mike. Get the poison out. You'll be fine.
So Reagan had her daughter, Kinley, when she was 17 years old. And by every account, she was a mom before anything else. And she was super good at it. Her stepfather said that it was like she was always meant to be a mom and that she was the best one that he'd ever met. Her and Kinley were pretty much inseparable. In September of 2019, Reagan married a guy named Homer Hancock. And to shoot the wedding pictures, her mom hired somebody a friend had recommended as a budget option. Her name was Taylor Parker. Taylor shot the engagement pictures and the wedding, and she didn't just do the job and leave. She stayed in Reagan's life afterwards, kept up with her, stayed friendly with the whole family. At points, like depending on who you talk to, it almost felt like she was getting close enough to be like a bridesmaid at some points.
Wormed her way in there, huh?
A little weird.
So just going back real quick, not Homer wouldn't necessarily, I would not be a fan of that name, but Homer Hancock somehow works, and I fucking love Homer Hancock.
The alliteration is fantastic.
Phenomenal. I love it. Probably because it reminds me of Herbie Hancock, but Homer Hancock is fucking sweet.
He looks like a Homer Hancock too. Like he's a super big dude. Like he looks like he would fuck some people up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Those country boys, like they're just built sturdy and strong.
Yeah, watching that documentary, like all those Texas dudes, I'm like, man, they would just all fuck me up.
Oh, God.
Every one of these dudes.
I would not wear a Carhartt around them. I'd kayfabe that shit.
So back up a bit and talk about Taylor. She was born on December 8th, 1992 in Titus County, Texas. Her parents divorced when she was a kid. She had a brother, and most of what we know about their dad comes from him. The way he told it, the guy used the two of them as pawns in the divorce, and when their dad was off chasing women or doing drugs, the kids got put on the back burner. Taylor had a daughter at 17 years old, which resulted in her dropping out of school. I don't know how old the person was. I'm assuming it's another high school age student, but you know what I mean? Like kid, but just the kid wasn't around and kept switching jobs. So there was no child support coming. Like, it was just, you know.
Is that how you do it? From one step ahead of garnishments? You just switch jobs all the time, and when they catch up to you, you move on?
Maybe it'll last for a little bit.
Yeah.
Not forever, though.
All right. You get that tax refund, right?
A few years later, she married a guy named Tommy, and at 21, she had a son. That second pregnancy went south. She had preeclampsia, which is dangerous. I'm not going to get into like the details on what that is exactly, like, you know, but it's not good. And so she got her tubes tied. Then a couple years later, she got pregnant anyway. And so, like, when I say anyway, it's not like you can't say like, oh, you're forced to not get pregnant, but like you're warned, like, okay, this could be really dangerous if you do get pregnant. So you should take steps to not get pregnant, right?
Isn't getting your tubes tied, though, taking a step to not get pregnant?
It is, but you can still get pregnant. So
Yeah.
you need to like still use some form of, there needs to be birth control involved or get a hysterectomy.
Gotcha.
It's very unusual, though.
That's what I thought. But then I was like, oh, I don't want to try to like mansplain pregnancy. I don't really know what I'm talking about over here.
Yeah, that's why I'm like not even trying to get into what preeclampsia is.
Right.
So yeah, it can happen after you've had your tubes tied, and it's super rare. But when it does, it's essentially like the pregnancy landing in the wrong spot outside of the womb. And it's called an ectopic pregnancy. I think that's how you say it. It's just super dangerous. I don't know why it's dangerous. I can't tell you exactly why, but it's extremely dangerous to, you know, where you need surgery to remove it. And during that surgery, the doctors took out her uterus. So she got a hysterectomy. Her husband at the time and her mom signed off on it while she was under. So she came out of that unable to ever carry a child, and she was in her 20s. She was never going to have a child again anyways because of the tubes tied, but I'll save my thoughts for later. But I think some of this there's something going on here with her view of consent with this.
Of the husband and the mom determining that she should have the hysterectomy, you mean?
Right.
Okay.
To somebody who's already very mentally ill,
Right.
right? There's a lot going on here. And there's just something about it that I get the vibe that maybe the lack of what she saw as consent maybe fueled some of this baby stuff we're going to be talking about
Like
later.
she had been robbed.
Yes.
Yeah, she didn't get a say in what she perceived as no longer being able to have a baby, even though she most likely was never going to have a baby anyways.
She just couldn't. It's not possible,
Yeah.
right? Like, and when it does, it could be, you know, very life-threatening to her.
Yeah. And just going back to what you said earlier, it's that ectopic pregnancy is not just dangerous, it can kill you. It can't produce a baby ever. It's not viable in any fashion, and it can kill you.
Yeah.
So like when Ohio a couple years ago, they were writing their anti-abortion laws here, and they included this in their proposed language, meaning if you had this type of pregnancy, you need to immediately have an abortion because it can kill you. And they wanted to outlaw that because they didn't bother to figure out what an ectopic pregnancy is.
Ohio.
You need the fucking Drew Carey one. Ohio.
It did sound like the Drew Carey. Oh, it hurts to laugh.
I was waiting for the echo.
Ohio.
Ohio.
Oh God.
So just more wisdom from those ass clowns that run Ohio.
I'm sure there's a whole lot of mansplaining going on in those kind of meetings, right?
Oh, yeah.
Taylor and Tommy got divorced in 2017. In the settlement, she gave up custody of their son, and after that, she owed child support for him, but did not pay. So in the end, she ends up owing like more, over $8,000. She gets behind on her child support. Her brother put some of this behavior that she had on weight loss surgery that she had gotten in 2014. It was a gastric bypass that she had fought her weight since she was a kid, and the gastric bypass worked. But the way her brother told it, that is like something flipped after that. When she was with Tommy, he said that the two of them cared about each other and nothing mattered more than the family. And after the surgery, it turned into what she wanted out of life, and her kids went on the back burner to whatever guy she was trying to hook up with.
Is it true she left him because he ran out of money? Because I heard the union went on strike. Tommy used to work on the docks. And the union went on strike, and he was down on his luck. Is that true?
In 2018, she got married again to a guy named Hunter Parker. That's where the last name comes from, the one that she kept. During that marriage, she started asking friends to be surrogates for her because she wanted to have another baby and couldn't, right? We talked about it after the hysterectomy. That marriage ended in a divorce in 2019, the same year that she met Wade, the guy we're going to be talking about tonight.
I like in the documentary when they're talking to Taylor's friends about her asking them to be surrogates, and they're like, you don't even take care of the babies you have.
Right.
You want me to carry your next one? No.
And we'll get into her financial stuff later, but I remember that they said she was offering them vast sums of money to be the surrogate, and they're like, what are you talking about?
Before Wade and before Reagan, the victim we're talking about tonight, Taylor had a pattern, and those friends we were just talking about, they had caught on to it by this point in the story. Over the years, she'd told friends that she had multiple sclerosis, then cancer, then a brain tumor, and then a stroke, which the stroke one is fucking wild. Like in the documentary, they show like a selfie of her supposedly recovering from after she had a stroke, and it looks like Dave's Larry Flint.
Right.
Having a stroke is nothing to joke about. It's not a laughing matter. Fucking bitch, you don't joke about something so serious like a stroke.
She looks just like that face.
God.
I don't even know what that face looks like. You guys would have to tell me.
I'm biting half of my lip off.
We are remote on camera. You want me to screenshot it and post it out on my Insta story?
No, I do not.
I just always know when Larry Flint's coming. You start like getting
Shutting
the
my
face
lip
ready.
up.
He tilts his head. He like gets into position. Yeah. He's got to tell.
The thing I don't play poker is Larry Flint.
You'd have to stay in character all night.
So everybody, just said like these sicknesses kept coming and coming, and eventually everybody stopped believing her because it's really like it just gets out of control after a while.
She had more fake illnesses than Gypsy Rose.
Hey, y'all, that's not fair. That was my mama doing that. That was my mama doing like that voice is too high to even mimic. Hey, y'all.
One of her old bosses got worried enough about her stories to call a family friend, and a family friend told him, quote, "If her mouth is moving, she's lying."
The old lawyer joke. There you go.
When one of those friends of Taylor's got pregnant, she got super weird about it. She wanted to plan that friend's gender reveal, and she asked to do stuff like log into her friend's pregnancy app so she could follow the baby week by week.
If you guys
It
want
was
access
enough-
to my chart, you're welcome to have it.
Give me your social security number too.
Yeah, you have it all.
So stuff like that, the app thing, that's enough for that friend to cut Taylor off. And it's really a pattern like that. When people around her started catching on, she would just, completely cut ties, move somewhere new where nobody knew her and start the lies all over. And it's not like she's moving states away or anything, but she knows what she's doing. She's moving far enough out of social circles to, where people aren't going to talk to each other. Or at least she thinks that they won't.
Pre-social media, this kind of shit might have worked, but when everyone can track everyone's activity online,
right?
You get caught up in some of this stuff.
Yeah, this is like 70s and 80s behavior.
Yeah, right.
Taylor met Wade Griffin in 2019, right after that second divorce, at a rodeo. We talked about like the Texas guys, like these big guys, and that's kind of what Wade is, right? And he ran roofing crews, did welding, and trapped hogs. When Taylor met him, she said that she was an heiress, that there was this fortune coming, millions tied up, that she was about to inherit.
Well,
I'm listening. That's what I would say to her at that rodeo.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to lick my balls and you're going to be a multimillionaire soon. Let's go.
And she was a pretty cute girl. She was attractive enough that,
in some pictures.
Yeah, well, and, she was dealing with all kinds of stuff throughout her life. But at that time, I think that was about the time where it's like, oh, she's good looking. She's coming for money and she's talking to me. Like, I could see why Wade would be like, hell yeah.
I feel like if you met that kind of girl up here, you'd be like, okay, but there's a whole group of rich people because of oil down there, right? That you wouldn't necessarily or think to be millionaires. I don't know. I'm just talking based on what I've seen on TV, but that's plausible that like your grandfather might own oil wells, and have hit it big, that kind of thing.
So you're saying it'd be more plausible down there, whereas up here we would be more like, I'm skeptical. You sure about that?
Yeah, you sure you're millionaire heirs?
No. That makes sense. I could see that.
I might be way off base, but that's how I looked at it.
Well,
because it's absurd. The whole thing's fucking absurd.
We're global podcast stars. We're not easily impressed up here.
That's true.
Ohio. We really do got to get Drew Carey on here, or at least that clip. My almost dad. Have we told that on here?
I think I did one time. Yeah. I don't know if we cut it out or not.
I'm okay with that. Well, I'll tell it another day when I'm feeling better.
Oh, before I forget, one thing. You mentioned this guy's a hog farmer and all that. The second most disturbing thing in this documentary is all those goddamn hunting dogs he has that just live their life in a fucking cage in his backyard.
Man.
Look, I know that's a thing in the South and some places, but it's fucking horrible.
Man, I missed that part. Or I must have just been like zoned out or something during that part. I don't remember that.
It's like a long trailer cage, some kind of dog pen thing. And there's like 10 dogs in little cages. And like he goes and lets them out and stuff. Like that's just where they live.
Dude, they're
it's fucking vile.
One of the guys I used to be in a band with, his dad was like super hardcore into hunting and like man's man. Like I feel like I only heard him talk like maybe once or twice. Like super intimidating dude. But he had dogs like that, beagles outside chained up, and like you weren't allowed to even remotely give them attention or anything. Like they were for hunting, and that was it.
Just awful.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that.
Oh, outdoors. Who needs it?
I'm not talking like I should be wearing a Carhartt.
Yeah, well, and this show, we just put our Carhartts down. We don't belong during this episode.
No. There's a montage of Wade going through, like they're talking about like just him as a person in that documentary, right? And they're like showing his day to day, and he's like feeding all those fucking hogs and all those dogs and stuff. Like this dude is on a whole different level than me.
I don't think he was. I do think he was wearing a cowboy hat the entire documentary. I can't compete with that level of outdoorness.
Well, and not only feeding the hogs, like they would rust. Like they'd go catch wild hogs and he would wrestle them down and she would help them and stuff. Like they're capturing hogs in the wild and shit. The fuck? I didn't even know people did that. I thought you just went hog hunting. I didn't know you had to rustle them up to sell them.
You could ask me a million times, Mike, what'd you do this weekend? And rustling a hog will never be the answer. Maybe my own hog, but that's it. And that's home field advantage, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's easy to take down.
Yeah, all right. Sometimes.
We'll talk about it a lot when we get into the investigation into things, but to make this look real, Taylor built like this whole web of fake names, dozens of fake names, forged checks and documents, going as far as to like go after really big properties, a multi-million-dollar ranch out in Oklahoma and a pecan farm. None of this money is real. There is no inheritance at all, but Wade fully believed it. So the two of them started going into debt together just on her lies here, right? So they're buying super expensive trucks, four-wheelers, cars for his mom, just real over-the-top spending.
Just the level of lies is just, it's astounding. It's breathtaking, the things she was doing. Like this, the pecan farm, like going back and forth with the sellers and the real estate agents and creating business cards for her fake investment person and leaving voicemails for them about the money with a voice changer and a different voice. And it's nuts. Like the mom's car got repoed and she told her they're coming to pick up your car because there's a recall on it. And she called the dealer like, no one paid for this car. We fucking repoed it. Like there's no end game here. This stuff is insanity.
If Taylor would have just put half of that effort into getting a job, she would have been just fine.
Right.
You would have been making money just fine.
It's craziness.
This is that shit that I remember when we talked about Casey Anthony with her faking that Disney shit and like taking the lie right up until she got to the end of that fucking hallway in Disney. Like,
yeah,
there's something.
It's the exact same scenario. Like, Are you praying for some miracle outcome at the end that's going to get you out of this? There's no end game here.
Yeah,
it's not possible.
Yeah, I don't know what that's got to be something like. Is that not some type of narcissism that you just think everything will work out no matter what? Or
I think that has to be
Casey was
part
like
of
saying
it.
hi to people and shit that were working there.
Like in Casey's situation, that one might be a little easier. You're probably just hoping there's like an empty office and you could just be like, oh, this one's mine.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know what Taylor had too many things going on at once. Like, I don't know what the fuck she was going to do.
I don't know, man. It's just crazy. I've never seen anything so crazy. Well, I have, but it's one of the craziest.
It's just exhausting too, the level of just keeping all of that on track.
Like this property costs $4 million. And that's not the only one. She did this multiple times, but she got Wade and her together in a room and where they like announced it to his family and stuff that they were buying this $4 million property that was never going to happen. Like it
was like a
guy was like
party.
an asshole. Yeah.
There was like a whole presentation on it and stuff. Yeah.
Then she told Wade that she was pregnant. The first time was in 2019, just a few weeks into things. She said that it was twins, and that one ended with her telling him that she'd lost the babies after she got hit by a towing cable. It was like some kind of freak accident. Then in early 2020, she said she was pregnant again.
Fertile Myrtle over here with no uterus.
Yeah, right.
It's like the Virgin Mary. It's amazing.
Wade's like, fuck yeah. I make babies, motherfucker.
That's right.
No blanks over here. Must be that cowboy hat. Remember in Curb, Dave, when Jeff starts wearing the cowboy hat?
Yes, the best.
And Susie only wants to fuck him when he's wearing a cowboy hat. I just watched that episode a few days ago.
Oh, it's so great.
This time around, when she announced this 2020 pregnancy, she committed. She bought a silicone belly off Amazon, which I think she bought multiple ones and like kind of upgraded them as she went. But the one at the end could fake kick, which I feel like is a little weird. Like, I don't know why I question buying a fake one that can go as far as kicking.
That's
for
going the
100.
extra mile there, buddy.
Yeah, like on Amazon for $100.
That's going all the way.
I'm assuming those are for educational purposes, that's why they're available. On the surface, It does seem very odd that you could just go buy that. Should we all get one of those for our live show and we just all show up pregnant?
Like that fucking weird movie with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger. But she's also buying fake ultrasound pictures online too, which that's super fucking suspicious. Like, who's out there profiting off that?
Yeah.
Those websites. That's so fucking shady.
And she provided a fake, some sort of exam result saying she was pregnant or something, but it had a date of 2016 on it because it was like when she used to work in one of those offices, she took it, or it was from her original pregnancy or something years ago, like the positive whatever. And they questioned her about it, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I called the doctor, and they said that they were having IT issues all day, so a bunch of stuff was at the wrong date." What are you talking about?
So yeah, she had the fake ultrasounds that she was able to purchase those on the internet. And when Wade wanted to come into appointments, she had COVID as an excuse because this was 2020 and it was pretty much commonplace that people weren't going into doctor's appointments together, especially for, regarding a pregnancy.
Hey, say what you will, but COVID was not that bad when I just got to stay in the house all day and never see anybody.
It was great for the movies, right? For like streaming movies.
Yes, the best of times. Straight to streaming.
It's all these younger kids are bringing the fucking theaters back. Obsession stayed in an extra month because of ticket sales, and Back Rooms is getting an extension.
I don't miss movie theaters because of all the bullshit we've discussed before. I do like going to the movies now because you can often just have it to yourself. But I do miss movie rental shops. The nostalgia of that was pretty cool. And I miss that.
Yeah, definitely. That was always fun.
Yeah.
That's all. Like
Speaking-
picking up a pizza and then going to or as Ian says, the Blockbusters.
Yeah, Blockbusters.
Picking up a pizza and going to Blockbusters and finding a movie, hoping the VHS was behind the box so it wasn't, already taken out.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, you show up to get a new release and there's no tape behind it. You're like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, this is bullshit. Or when there was a new release, there'd be a giant wall of that movie, right? Like 50 copies. And then you'd show up and be like, "Oh, I'm looking for Chevy Chase Funny Farm." And they're like, "Oh, there's one copy." And you just hope it's there.
Or sneaking into the back room, looking around, make sure no one's looking at you to see if you can get a copy of Gag Factor 5.
We haven't heard that one in a while. Speaking of nostalgia.
When it got to the point where the COVID excuse wasn't enough, she told him that she was self-conscious about her body, about stretch marks, and she never let him see her undressed. They had a gender reveal party with her dad and her kids right there, which is part of the reason why people believed it, right? Like that reinforces it a lot. Like, people are questioning it, but this would make them kind of question their own suspicions, right? You know what I mean?
Sure. No sane person would do this if they weren't really pregnant.
Right.
Yeah.
She picked out a name and took maternity pictures. From the outside, if you were looking at it, it looks like a couple having a baby. But then you listen to some of their friends, people close to them talking about it. And they said it was super awkward during that party, that it was a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, just the vibe was off or different, right?
Yeah. Around May of 2020, Reagan, so now we were back to the victim, Reagan announced she was pregnant too. This would be her second daughter. And she and Homer had picked out a name, Braxlin Sage. And Reagan and Taylor reconnected over it. So, two pregnant women, young women who already knew each other. They were friends. Remember, we said that, during those pictures that she was taken for the wedding, she kind of wiggled her way in there pretty close. Around this same time that they reconnected over the pregnancies, people around town started kind of talking about how Taylor's pregnancy didn't look right. Maybe even it wasn't real. And Reagan defended her. She told her mom that people were giving Taylor a hard time about it, saying she wasn't really pregnant. And Reagan just didn't, she didn't buy it.
Well, and I think she was a little sloppy sometimes. I'm guessing sometimes she wore the fake belly and sometimes she didn't, because sometimes she would look very large and sometimes she wouldn't. And people had pictures of her like, well, she doesn't look pregnant here, but yesterday she had a huge belly kind of thing.
I just saw her at the Blockbusters and she didn't even have a belly.
Exactly.
And she posted 20 minutes later a selfie with a big bump.
You got to be consistent. Scam like this, consistency is the key.
Hey, it's called kayfabe, and you need to learn to live it.
That's it.
It's not even a scam, though. That's the thing. There's no fucking payoff in this. It's a scam with no end game.
Yeah.
No benefit is going to come from this. It just couldn't. I know she does know right from wrong, right? And she's found competent, but it's kind of like the definition of insanity, right? There's no fucking way this is going to end any other way.
Oh, I think this person is crazy. Absolutely.
I mean, she's definitely mentally ill, but like when you really put this down to bare bones, like this is such a crazy lie to do this.
'Cause she's just going day to day. There's no set long-term plan. Like you guys just like, it's just day to day. How can I get through today to make this more and bring more attention to myself and whatever.
That's it.
There were a lot more people than you'd think that were aware of the fact that Taylor just physically could not be pregnant. Taylor's first husband, Tommy, had been messaging Wade directly, telling him that Taylor had a hysterectomy back in 2015 and that she just could not be pregnant. It's not possible. Wade's mom kept seeing things that didn't add up. And I mean, you guys saw the documentary, how his mom talked. Like she just knew that there was something wrong here, and Wade just wasn't having it.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder a little bit how much of that gets exaggerated after the fact, once they know kind of. I'm not saying I disagree that they didn't think something was up. That's just something that crossed my mind. I don't know. I felt the need to bring that up.
Yeah, these types of things are always like trying to read people's demeanor and everything.
Yeah.
And I think some people are a little overly harsh with Wade on this. Like he's just, he's not a Rhodes Scholar. He's he's a hog farmer guy. I don't know that we should expect him to have been.
I felt really bad for Wade watching it throughout a lot of it.
I think he's a big victim here. I don't think we should expect someone like that to be not so oblivious, I guess, and not so trusting of what she told him. He's like, this hot chick came to me. She told me all this stuff. I don't know. He doesn't understand what a lot of this means, right? He's taking for granted that she's telling him the truth. I don't know. I felt bad for the guy.
Yeah.
I think if this is a case where let's say Reagan is not the victim here, and then this goes to where Taylor just gets this whole scam eventually blows up in her face. Like if we covered it that way, Wade's 100% the victim of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I do feel bad for him.
Yeah. I don't want to jump too much ahead. I'll try to remember we'll talk about Wade again at the end.
A friend of Wade's even called the lab about paperwork. This is the lab that you were talking about earlier, Dave, with the incorrect date on it.
Right.
When this friend called the office, they told her that they don't send things like that. So then this friend called the women's clinic, and the office manager couldn't say anything about Taylor's records, but she specifically told her to go with her gut.
You can say things without saying things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good on that lady, too. I'm glad she said that.
Yeah.
And that same friend kept pulling the thread until she got Taylor's own mom on the phone. And Taylor's mom told her that this was the call that she had been waiting for, that her daughter couldn't have kids, that she had a hysterectomy years ago. So there was no fortune, there's no money, none of this was real at all. And she had been like painting her mother as like the fucking worst person ever and like the villain in a lot of this.
There was a lot of back and forth. Like my mom's blocking me getting my inheritance and all this stuff. So maybe that was the end game there with the money. At the end of the day, she would just say, "Oh, my mom took it all and wouldn't let me have it."
Yeah.
I just don't understand the fucking end game, because she just could have been with Wade, right? Like, I think he would have been more than happy just to be with her.
He was, in fact.
Yeah, like
that's what I was going to bring up, and we might as well just talk about it now. Like with Wade, at the end of the documentary, he says he never even really loved her, and I think that's just hindsight, like him justifying. But then I'm also wondering, like, you could make the argument, was he just in it for the money and never really loved her, but believed that? I guess I'm saying all that to say, I don't believe any of that. I think he was, I don't believe he was in it for the money, and I don't believe he never loved her. I think he really did love her and was just trying to settle down and have a wife and a kid and live a simple, good life. And so I agree. Back to the original point, I think he is just a victim who was maybe a little gullible and got played by this lunatic. And
to put or to stick around after all this nonsense that she put him through and all this kind of crazy stuff, I agree. I don't believe this. Oh, I never loved her stuff. That is hindsight.
Yeah. And even then, I don't blame him for saying that. She did horrible things we'll get to, but I don't know. I think he was there because he just wanted to settle down and have a family.
He just wanted to lay hog and hunt hogs and just be a dude
and have all the hog,
dude.
All the hogs.
Be a dude.
Wear his cowboy hat.
By the middle of September, this whole thing was closing in on Taylor. And Wade got an anonymous text that month that kind of laid this whole thing out, that she wasn't pregnant, she was running out of time, and that hospitals around there were on alert in case she tried to take a baby. And Wade was absolutely sure that it was Taylor's mom harassing them again. And he's deep enough into her version of things by this point, it just seems that anybody doubting her looked like an enemy. Even his mom was, he pushed back against his mom on it, like, you don't understand what you're talking about kind of stuff.
Man, she's rich. She loves me.
So instead of taking that text seriously, he showed it to Taylor, which I don't know. It's so fucking crazy. And I keep derailing because I keep thinking of like Wade's situation. But if she's wearing this fake pregnancy thing, right? Like, and she doesn't want to show you her body because she's self-conscious, right? So you're giving your pregnant wife her space that she needs, right? So you never ask her to even really push it,
sure,
right?
You just assume they weren't having sex during this time because he was just respecting however she felt, and that was it.
Yeah. And it's an advanced belly to the point that it's able to kick. Like, what's this guy going to believe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you can say he is gullible. I get that, but she kind of really did go above him. That kicking baby stomach just kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page with him. Like, I feel bad for Wade.
Yeah. I almost felt like it was the alien thing. Like, I was waiting for the fucking xenomorph to pop out of it when they were showing it in the documentary.
That would have been a huge twist. Then it just becomes a UFO documentary.
Right.
Wade had no idea he had fathered the alien baby that was soon to eject itself from Taylor's belly.
The detective who later went through Taylor's phone said that text, like when Wade showed her that specific text with like very, very specific real information, was the moment that Taylor's searching turned into a frenzy. From that point until the murder, she was looking up pregnancy stuff almost every day, driving to places that she searched, which we're talking like OBGYN clinics and maternity stores. One town she had driven to 6 separate times, just kind of drove there, scouted out the clinic areas, went home next day, back out there, just, very manic.
Yeah, there was some crazy internet searches going on there. It was something. It was like Casey Anthony level internet searches. How to find a pregnant one, like all the shit you would imagine.
Like all the shit you should never Google.
Yeah, right.
When you're trying to commit a crime.
Would lying to a jury about my dad sexually assaulting me as a child get me off of murder charges for killing my own child? Search.
Get hit back with like a Google error. Like, did you not find what you're looking for? So fixing your sleep always turns into this huge project. A new mattress, a sleep tracker, blackout curtains, supplements. It's a whole thing. And meanwhile, the actual problem is usually way simpler than that. It's your bedding. It wears out so slowly that you never notice it's happening. The sheets start piling. The corners quit staying on the mattress. The pillows go flat. Most people think they need a new mattress, but the biggest difference comes from replacing the stuff that's actually touching you all night. And think about it this way. People spend all this money on skincare, serums, and routines, and then spend 8 hours with their face on some old worn-out pillowcase. We did a full reset. We didn't carry any of the old stuff over, and we built a whole bed with Boll and Branch. The signature organic cotton sheets, the pillows, a comforter, and the waffle blanket. It's all clean materials, no harsh chemicals, and it's designed to work together. So the whole room looks finished, and the first night honestly felt like sleeping in a hotel. For me personally, I used to wake up sweating, and that's basically gone now. The stuff is breathable, and it actually regulates temperature, so I'm not kicking the covers off at 3 a.m. anymore. That alone was worth it, but the waffle blanket ended up being the bonus. It went on the bed for texture, and now it's my favorite thing on there. And the sheets really do get softer every time you wash them, which I didn't believe until it happened. At some point, sleep stops being optional. It's your energy, your mood, your focus, all of it. So invest in the thing you're on for a third of your life. Most people start with 2 sheet sets and a comforter so they can rotate, then add the waffle blanket, and you feel the difference the very first night. Sleep cooler this summer with Boll and Branch during their annual summer event. For a limited time, get 20% off site-wide at bollandbranch.com/necro with code NECRO. That's Boll and Branch, BOLLAND branch.com, code NECRO to take 20% off. bollandbranch.com/necro, code NECRO. Exclusions apply.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. We talk about mental health more openly now, but asking for help can still feel hard. And BetterHelp's latest research confirms it. BetterHelp's 2026 State of Stigma report surveyed 2,000 Americans and revealed that 85% of Americans believe getting support is wise, yet 74% say society discourages people from doing so. So why is it that so many of us understand the importance of getting mental health support, yet often feel hindered to do so? Think about yourself. Do you encourage others to get support or consider therapy? I fully understand the importance of mental health and try to be as encouraging as I can to the people in my life who might need some extra support. I challenge you to do the same. Together, we can break the stigma surrounding therapy and all work to better ourselves and society. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 6 million people globally. And it works, with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session, based on over 1.7 million client reviews. If you're looking for quality, BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the U.S. To get started, all you need to do is fill out a brief questionnaire, and BetterHelp does the initial matching for you, focusing on finding a therapist that best meets your needs and preferences. You can also switch to a different therapist at any time. So don't let stigma stand in the way of support. Start therapy with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/necro. That's betterhelp.com/necro.
There was one clinic near the end of September that she walked into and broke down crying in the lobby. She told the staff her mom couldn't be there and that her husband had died in the military, like kind of thing to make them feel bad for her. And at another point, she was seen hanging around the back entrance of this clinic. Later on, the prosecutors bring this up as she was scouting out for a pregnant woman at this point. Like, before even Reagan comes into the picture as the plan, she was already concocting this. Because her due date was September 22nd and it came and went and there was no baby, The people who knew the truth kept waiting for the easy way out, right? Is just to fake a miscarriage and let the whole thing go away quietly. Wade's mom had figured out that's how it would end by now, right? Because these friends of Taylor's at this point from towns over have talked to people directly. I'm pretty sure, if I remember in the chronology of the documentary, that Wade's mom had a specific conversation with one of these friends and was told that Taylor had a hysterectomy. So like everyone knows but Wade.
Yeah, so they're all just waiting, like, all right, what's she gonna do? At some point, it's not a miscarriage. I mean, right? It's a stillbirth.
Eventually,
like, you can't just say, it's not 2 months where you can say I have a miscarriage and I flush it down the toilet. Like, it's a different scenario when you're almost 10 months pregnant.
There's going to be a body.
Yeah. It's a lot harder to fake that at that point.
But, she just kept saying the baby was coming. And the longer that went, that started to scare people who knew her and knew, what the truth was, because she'd carried the lie past the point, like you were just saying, Dave.
Yeah.
Like you can't have a miscarriage where she's headed. One of her old doctors had seen that coming early. He watched her post all this fake shit online with an ultrasound that actually came from his own office back when she was pregnant years ago. So he knew this was impossible. This guy's in a really tough spot because he performed the hysterectomy on her, but because of like HIPAA laws and stuff, he can't go out and like warn anybody or disclose that to anyone. So as he's watching her post all this stuff on social media, his worry was, quote, "We felt she had to come up with a baby somehow." Right? Because how is she going to get herself out of this lie? So he called hospitals in the area and put the nurseries on alert and asked them to call a code pink, letting hospitals in the area know that there's a chance she might try to steal a baby or do something really off the rails.
What a good heads up play by him. Like just kind of seeing that ahead and like, oh, she's serious about this. Let's just get everybody prepared in case, she tries something here.
Yeah, thinking outside the box when your hands are tied like that.
Yeah. But he's a doctor. He's got real things to worry about. And then you throw fucking this at him. And, like this nonsense and handle it like a champ.
It's got to be so frustrating, too, to have to follow those laws when you could just blow the whole thing up, in a matter of 5 minutes.
But then almost maybe blow up your career, right? Like,
yeah.
That's the risk.
Yeah. I think even in a world where he said something and saved this from happening, his career's still blown up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like one way or another, right? When an organization like would just be like, okay, you still broke the rules though. So like HIPAA laws are HIPAA laws. You know what I mean?
He'd be sued in 20 minutes.
Right. The countdown got real at the start of October. By then, Taylor was just moving the date. She told Wade the baby was coming on October 5th. And around them, a fire got set under his place. I think it was like under the porch or something. And then the hospital got a bomb threat, which, of course, both of those are Taylor.
Yeah, she set her own fucking house on fire.
That's what I mean, man. That's like self-preservation is even starting to be looked past here a bit. The delivery got pushed to a hospital up in Idabel, Oklahoma for October 9th. And for that same day, Taylor purposely set Wade up with a hog sale out in Oklahoma, like the opposite direction, hours away, so he's gone. On the evening of October 8th, Taylor went over to Reagan's and brought a baby gift and a Starbucks and stayed till about 10 o'clock at night, which is wild.
Yeah.
Wild when you know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
But before she went with the Starbucks and stuff at 7:26 p.m. that evening, she also bought a burner phone and texted herself from it within a minute to make sure that it worked. So when the detectives kind of pieced together the burner phone with her going to Reagan's with the Starbucks and everything, their thought was that she probably didn't sleep at all, like for a solid 24 hours, and that October 8th was like a trial run to kind of get a feel of the house kind of thing. On October 9th, before dawn, Wade headed out for that hog sale in Oklahoma, hours in the opposite direction of the hospital. He took his truck, which left the car sitting at the house. Starting around 4:28, Taylor's burner phone was pulling up videos on how a C-section works and what a birth looks like at 35 weeks, which is right around where Reagan was. Then Taylor left home around 5:26. Around 6:30, a camera at a gas station a couple miles from Reagan's caught Taylor putting $10 of gas in Wade's Corolla. That's the one that she usually drove around. She stopped at the McDonald's next door, and then she got to Reagan's house around 7:30.
Most heiresses drive Corollas, so that tracks.
What's her damn mom blocking her, right, Dave?
That's right.
Won't give her the secret PIN number to that fortune.
just as an aside to this, when Wade gets to the guy's house with the hog sale, the guy's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I have no idea.
Yeah.
I didn't make a hog purchase today." And she made this whole thing up and was texting with fake numbers and stuff. So I don't know if we cover that later, but it's absurd.
A very unimportant in retrospect, but extremely frustrating part of the story to watch. Because if you're Wade, you're like, motherfucker. I just drove like 4 hours.
Like, I think the end game is that when she calls him and finally has the baby, he's like, "Oh, I'll forget about this fucked up hog deal that didn't happen, and I'll never think about it again." So yeah, life of a hog farmer. Am I right? Fucking A.
Hog farmer with a lying, mentally ill, deranged wife.
Mm-hmm.
See it every day.
Boys, I saw this all the time back in Hope, Arkansas. Giant watermelons, hog farmers, and my giant hog fucking all the local honeys.
In between promoting people who didn't need to be promoted, did you fix any of this, Mr. President?
Hey.
When Taylor went inside the house, she attacked Reagan with a knife that was already there. And when that didn't work, she went out to her car and came back with a scalpel. There was a hammer involved, as well as a heavy mason jar that was packed with sand from Reagan's wedding. The attacks happened about like 4 or 5 different spots in the house, and Reagan kept moving while this was happening. And an investigator who worked the scene said that this was not a quick death, that it was a very violent fight. The documentary kind of glossed over the specifics of her injury, and a lot of times I do too, but I wanted to get into the actual injuries for this because it's really fucking brutal. And I don't know, man, this is such a different crime than anything we've ever talked about.
Mm-hmm.
In the documentary, they they skip getting into it, and then they just play the 911 call.
Yeah,
That's kind of what they did. Like that Taylor shows up to the house, and then the next thing you know, it's the family hasn't heard from Reagan, And
yeah,
then
that 911 call is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I didn't like that at all.
No, it was horrible.
Yeah. Reagan had 113 sharp force injuries. 15 of those were stab wounds. 98 were cuts. 2 of them went through her jugular, and some went all the way down to the bone. She had 39 blunt force injuries on top of that, most of them to her head, a broken nose, 5 separate skull fractures. Her hands were cut up from defending herself. 1 finger was dislocated. The tip of another one was almost severed. She had lost so much blood that toward the end, some of the wounds weren't really bleeding anymore because there was no pressure left to push it. And they found, because we know that Taylor's goal here, what she's doing is a C-section, they found some of Reagan's own fingernails in the placenta because she's trying to fight. Then Taylor cut the baby out. She opened Reagan from hip to hip into the womb and took Braxlin out with the placenta and the cord. I don't know if they talked about this in the documentary or not. I remember this shocked me researching this and writing this beforehand, but she stabbed her with a scalpel blade in the neck to end it, and the scalpel was still sticking out when they found Reagan.
That's a last fuck you, right? Or
every time I think I'm like, oh, this is like some psychological thing, and but then yeah, that's like a fuck you kind of thing. Like
you tried to fight me too hard, I won, fuck you. That's how I read that.
Yeah, just like a frustration thing, maybe.
Like I'm mad at you for fighting back.
And remember Reagan, she had a daughter named Kinley who was 3.5 at the time. So she was in the house for the entire thing. Thankfully, she wasn't hurt. She was hiding in her bedroom. The phone data showed Taylor left the house somewhere between 9:09 and 9:14, and at 9:36, a state trooper pulled a car over for driving all over the road. Inside was Taylor with a newborn and an umbilical cord running down into her pants. The baby was limp, and Taylor told the trooper that she had given birth on the side of the road. She was all frantic, but all of it was geared toward getting to the hospital in Idabel. There's a hospital 10 minutes down the road, but she was very, very focused on getting to Idabel. And people are stopping on the road. They're trying to do CPR on the baby. And when they cut, because the paramedics show up, like they're going to start removing your clothes and stuff. Like they're not just going to be like, all right, well, we'll let you go. So,
Safe travels.
like, I don't want to make light of it and joke, but like, of course they're gonna figure this out. And
They're going to get you medical attention, which is their job and what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
And
there's
so
no
they-
end game here. Your DNA is not going to match this fucking baby. There's no end game here. This is absurd. This only works if you get away and leave the country or start have a new identity plan somewhere. Like, this is ridiculous.
also, like, how the fuck are you taking care of a freshly born baby? Like, you have to have all kind of like equipment for that. There's like procedures to do that.
Right.
Well, I think the plan was to say I just gave birth myself and take it to the hospital, but still, I mean, come on. People who work at hospitals are not imbeciles.
No,
They're going to
look
figure it
at
out.
I, in fact, tend to find that most people in hospitals are the exact opposite of imbeciles.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they're working in a hospital, and I'm
You ever watch
going to see them.
You ever watch The Pit? Everyone's so smart with snappy dialogue. They're very clever. Come on. Fucking geniuses in there.
Isn't that the one we called the ER spinoff and everyone got pissed at us?
Yeah.
Or I asked if it was an ER
you asked,
spinoff.
so we didn't know.
We didn't
Definitely
say,
not a spinoff.
And then people about cut our fucking nuts off and shoved them down our throats.
Mike, Noah Wild's name was this in this episode, and this series was completely different. Definitely not a spinoff. A totally different character, Mike.
I'm sorry. It was just a simple question because, the only time I ever see that actor, he's playing a doctor. Excuse me for thinking it might be a spinoff. Was it named Noah Wiley? Isn't that the actor?
Weil? Is it
Weil. Is it
Weil or
Weil?
Wiley? I think
Maybe
it's
it's Weil.
Wiley. Ah, fucking
Maybe
know.
it's Noah Weil. See, now they're going to get mad at us for that.
Mike, his name's clearly Weil. It's very easy to read that name.
Yeah.
I don't know either.
So yeah, like they get EMS out there and they cut Taylor's pants open, fully expecting to be dealing with a birth, and the placenta just dropped out onto the floorboard of the car.
Well, like she was hiding it there?
Yeah, like she had. To me, it sounded like she had like stuffed it up under like either her shirt or like down in her pants band or something.
All right.
It's a wild visual. I'm glad they blurred that out in the documentary. In the
Police
body
body
cam
cam,
footage. Yeah.
Well, I think they had
Sometimes
to. 'Cause
those documentaries don't do that, man. They hit you hard with something every once in a while.
But I think in that scene you're talking about, there was also the baby's body sitting on her lap. So they were blurring that as well.
That is true. Yeah.
It wasn't the placenta necessarily. Had the baby not been there, Netflix would have been like, fuck it, show it.
Well, HBO is good for that. They just fucking put anything in those documentaries.
I might have to retire from watching these documentaries. This one troubled me greatly.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fun when we can have drinks and just talk about it and Ian just tells us a story. I don't want to actually have to see this stuff. It becomes a lot more real.
It's breaking the tension here, pal.
Oh. Thanks, Pee-wee.
A flight crew took the baby on the way over about 34 minutes with CPR and a shot of adrenaline. They got a weak pulse back, but at the hospital in Idabel, doctors took over, and unfortunately the baby was pronounced dead a little after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. At the hospital, Taylor's story just continues to fall apart, right? Like we said, people in hospitals aren't imbeciles, so they ran blood tests on Taylor, and she had no HCG in her blood, which is the hormone that a pregnant woman would have. So instantly they know that she's not fucking pregnant. An exam also showed that she had no uterus. So Oklahoma State investigators came in, and one of them sat down right at her bedside, and she really pushes it. You know, she still tries to sell it that it's actually her baby for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, she did.
It takes her a while to finally admit that she was the one that did this, that it was not her baby. Meanwhile, back in New Boston, Reagan still hadn't been found yet. Homer couldn't get a hold of her. A neighbor noticed the family dog was loose and the garage was open. So Reagan's mom, Jessica, drove over, and on the way over, she stopped at Ken Lee's daycare and found out that the little girl had never been dropped off. When she got to the house, there was blood in the driveway, like in the garage leading in, I think is what she said. And when she went inside, she found her daughter, called 911, you know, the call that we already talked about.
This is one of the worst things I've ever seen. It was awful. It's just awful.
Kinley hiding in the back room that's heartbreaking.
I will say, though, what is very impressive is not impressive. It's surprising is that when paramedics got there, Jessica, who had just found her dead daughter's body, like, we're telling the police and EMTs like that she was pregnant and she didn't know if the baby was still there or whatnot. Like, she wanted them to make sure and check about the baby. I don't know if the baby's alive, like this sort of thing. I don't even know how you can function coherently in a situation like that. But
do you think she knew her daughter was dead, so her next just thought was maybe we can save the baby if it was still there?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. But man, it's just it's unbelievable. And then there's body cam of the police and the EMTs. They're like, we have to roll her over to see. They rolled her over. There's no baby in there, which is just to imagine what that scene looked like, you know? I mean, holy shit.
Reagan's stepfather on the documentary talked about how they found out that the baby had been cut out. They didn't learn that from law enforcement. It came to them through social media and the news, same as everybody else in the world. I don't know that it just, in my opinion, I don't think maybe that's law enforcement's fault. It almost sounds like somebody in the news media or somewhere in this system leaked it to the media kind of thing.
I fucking despise Facebook. It's just the fucking worst thing in the world. Just the shit that people have to post. Like whoever was hospital adjacent found this out. Oh, I gotta go post it on Facebook so all my fucking idiot friends know that I'm aware of the situation. I hate all of it. It's just the worst.
I get why the stepdad would be mad about this, but I'm with you, Ian, too. You know, I don't know if you necessarily can blame law enforcement for that. Like, this is happening real quick.
Yeah, it's a small town. Everyone knows everybody. Somebody got wind. Like, but it's just that whole, like,
oh, yeah.
Fuck off, man.
Yeah. And, you know, they still have an investigation to run. As we talked about countless times in past episodes, you can't just start putting information out there until you know it's okay to, because you don't want to fuck up your investigation.
Whatever. Fuck Facebook. It's just the worst.
Your opinions of Facebook are like mine of Reddit. I love it. I get the hatred. Nothing but negativity and toxicity and horribleness.
Oh, I get most of my information from Reddit. We're gonna part ways there.
No, I would
you just
never
gotta stay off the
trust
comment section.
Reddit is just the most vile. I was on it for 1 week and I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever been on. This is just so dumb. I think I've said it's just also not user friendly. It's just so weird to use.
Well, I think Ian and I, as big, heavy Reddit users, are probably going to disagree with you. But
well, I was saying I agreed with your hatred of a social media platform. I understand where you're coming from because that's how I am with Reddit. I would never see something off Reddit and be like, oh, I take that seriously. I would go verify it on 3 other sources before I ever trusted it.
Fair enough.
Remember that stabbing that happened down a couple spots down from my house at the pool?
Yeah.
Remember? And like I got all like kind of like involved in that and helped that girl out that was having a seizure and shit. Like that shit was crazy. But afterwards, there were so many people in the local Facebook thing like talking about all this, like, oh, this happened, and none of it was true.
Right.
I'm like, I was right there in the middle of the whole thing. Like, trying to be kind of like a helping hand for a minute there. And none of what people were saying on Facebook was true at all.
Oh, the fucking worst. Zuckerberg should be arrested and imprisoned for life for being an enemy of the state. Just awful stuff.
If the world doesn't burn down from like AI and whatnot, I feel like someday there could be a good study in Facebook and like the brain rot that it has just caused in society.
Oh my God, yeah. Allowing boomers access to fucking Facebook, just a big misstep in the history of technology.
A big mess.
You should age out
like we got a choice.
You should age out of Facebook. Like you hit this age, you're not allowed to have this anymore. Like you just come on.
I think everything you guys are saying is across the board, just social media in general, not just Facebook.
Could be.
I have never been on Facebook, so I don't have the same, strong feelings about that. But just social media in general is so awful. It's just so bad. If I go a day without looking at my phone, I feel so much better than the days I don't touch it, or on the days where I'm checking or getting updates on, sports or the Oilers or NASCAR, like even just looking up simple things.
Yeah.
I just feel so much better at night when I haven't touched my phone all day.
You're not wrong. Just think how much worse you'd be if you were on Facebook, though.
Oh, dude.
I mean, if it's a tenth as bad as the week I was on Reddit, I'd be like, no thanks. I don't need this. And then I'm forced to see what people upvote instead of just seeing like the latest comments and like a normal social media post where I could just scroll through. I have to see what people upvote and downvote. I don't get it.
I don't
You
even
got to sort the comments though. Like my thing.
Why do I got to take the extra step? I don't want to take the extra step and have to sort and then look through and like, oh, well, this person says this, and it's too much. No, thank you.
When I see something kind of spicy on Reddit, I'll hop in there and sort the comments by controversial first.
Is that something you can do? You can like, what do they how do they determine controversial?
Just like, I almost feel like it's the comments that are skirting actually getting like booted, kind of like you're dabbling and
look
whatever.
at it now because we might delete this in in an hour.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe those. But that's the go-to, man. Sort it by controversial and just read people's nonsense.
So you're there
the
for
good
the dirt.
stuff first.
You like the dirt. I get it.
I like the information, and then I go to the comment section for all the nonsense.
All right.
So once Taylor was in custody and they were questioning her, they also searched her car. Inside, they found a loaded revolver, a blood-stained blanket, and a diaper bag full of newborn clothes, some of them with the tags still on. Taylor and Wade, their house was fully set up for having a baby, so she had all this stuff already. So it's not like she went out and bought it based on this plan, but she also had a syringe of animal tranquilizer in her car as well. So I don't know if she was planning on knocking Reagan out, potentially.
Might have been nicer if she did, huh?
I was just thinking like it almost might have been made for a better, easier, less horrific killing.
My God.
The digital side of this is like where you really kind of see the scale of how massive the web of lies were. Investigators pulled 2 of Taylor's phones and mapped what they called her pattern of life, everywhere that she went and everything that she searched. And she had built like this whole cast of fake people backing up all of her lies and stuff, like texting Wade as made up friends, impersonating her own mother. Yeah, just complete craziness. And when Wade's mom started doubting her, Taylor used those, like all these fake people, these fake accounts to start turning Wade against his own mom, feeding him screenshots of her made up people piling on. One of them pretending to be her mother, messaging him to gloat that everybody was on Taylor's side now. It's like this entire fake world run off 2 phones that she had to keep Wade believing in this pregnancy for what fucking reason, I don't know. I feel like she just could have been with Wade.
I think at some point you're past the point of no return. You've backed yourself into a corner, and what are you going to do? At this point, you're going to lose him if he determines you were lying about everything. So you're taking drastic measures to keep that lie going.
And she's probably also just not thinking clearly at this point. Fucking mentally
that as well,
insane that it's just.
But this guy believes everything. She should have just said, well, I was on my way to the hospital. I had the baby on the side of the road, and UFO stopped down and kidnapped the baby and took it up to planet Xenix. And I'm sorry, it's gone.
I'm sorry, it's gone.
I ain't got no other answer, Wade. They took my baby. It's gone.
He'd have been like, yeah, but remember when you sent me 4 hours to sell some hogs? Fuck you.
I think the aliens must have texted you the hog farmer deal. I don't know, Wade. He was like, all right.
When you brought it up before, Dave, when he showed up at that farm, like the guy's like, I didn't text you. And Wade's like, here's the text message. And the guy's like, that isn't even my number. I don't, I'm sorry, man.
He's like, all right. Must have been a misunderstanding. I don't know.
Imagine if you drove 4 hours on a lie.
And not even a lie. Like, you're right in the middle of thinking your wife's pregnant.
Well, I know. I was trying to simplify it just for that question.
No, I know,
Like
but
for
like-
us. But like for him, it's obviously much more tragic. I just meant like if, hey, Mike, fucking Jeff Gordon signing autographs in Indianapolis tomorrow. You should go. And you lied to me, but I just went there, not even looking it up. I'd be like, motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's not that mad though. She calls him with the police there with all of the emergency services on the side of the road, and he's like, "All right, let me figure out what to do with these hogs.
Yeah.
I'll call you back."
Well, it's funny because I actually took that as him pissed, and like, I took it as him like finally realizing like she's lying to me about all of this because he's very like nonchalant and kind of blows her off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Because she's like, I had a baby. He's like, all right, I'll see you when I get back. Bye.
Well, I had a 4-hour drive to sell some hogs, and no one ain't buying no hogs, so I got to figure out what to do with these hogs, and I'll call you back. I can't bring the hogs to the hospital. What do you want me to do?
Poor Wade.
Exactly.
So when Wade got to the hospital, police grabbed him and he cooperated. At first, he thought that he was in trouble for some shit with the hogs because there's laws and regulations in that world, right? And you can't just go wrestling hogs, I guess, and throwing them in a truck and just taking off. If you know what I mean, like you got to follow some rules.
No, I don't know what you mean. I'm not familiar with hog farming laws. I guess he's like a hog rustler, like out there taking wild hogs. And hogs are delicious, though. I had a buddy who used to go hog hunting in Georgia every year, and he would make like spicy ribs from the hogs. Fucking delicious.
That sounds all right.
Yeah. So I'm pro hog hunting.
I always get people mad at me because I actually think ham might be my least favorite meat. I'm not a big ham guy.
That, yeah.
And bacon too. Like it's fine. I'll eat it, but it's not anything I go crazy over. Doesn't mean I hate pork, but
You got to have favorites, right? Nothing wrong with that.
just a simple guy. Simple taste. Give me that turkey Thanksgiving meal any day of the week.
Look, I have a turkey in my freezer
We
that I bought the week after Thanksgiving, and I said, I have an extra turkey. We never have turkey during the other months. Here we are.
Are you inviting us to Thanksgiving in July?
I
Dave?
am. I'm going to do it.
End
Should
of the
I
month.
smoke it? What should we do?
However you want to do it. I like the deep fried. That's my favorite. If you could do that.
I do too.
Yeah, deep fried's good.
I will tell you, I still have the oil from last Thanksgiving because it was a storm and it was too windy to keep the deep fryer going outside. So we can do a deep fried turkey.
You let me know what side dish to bring and I'll be there, pal.
All right, let's schedule it.
Oh,
right.
we really need to do that.
Thanksgiving in July, baby.
Fuck yeah, we're starting a new thing.
I love it.
Fuck Christmas in July. It's Thanksgiving in July.
Let's go.
Wade was never charged with anything in this, and he cooperated. Taylor got booked on October 16th. That December, a grand jury indicted her for capital murder and kidnapping. In January of 2021, the district attorney announced that they'd be seeking the death penalty. The defense tried to get the trial moved out of the county because of all the coverage. The judge said no, so it stayed in Bowie County. The trial started in September of 2022. The state put on 66 witnesses, and one of the things they set in front of the jury was a silicone belly like the one Taylor had worn. They had the DNA that proved the baby was Reagan's, the medical and forensic testimony, Wade and Reagan's mom on the stand. The defense didn't call a single witness. Their whole argument came down to that you can't kidnap a baby that hasn't been born, so the kidnapping charge should be thrown out because the baby had never been born a living person. It's a hard day for a defense attorney.
Yeah.
The closing argument, like making the argument for that, ran only 8 minutes.
Yeah, well, you know.
The lawyer's like, well, I did my best. What do you want from me?
The jury was out for less than an hour, and on October 3rd, 2022, they convicted Taylor. During the punishment phase, the state laid out what Taylor was still up to, even while sitting in jail after all of this. She had forged confession letters to pin the murder on another inmate, someone, I don't know if it was an inmate that was intellectually disabled or, suffering from some form of, diminished capabilities, I guess. She had gotten a hold of a razor and was trained to make drawings of the jail's layout.
Was she going to cut through the wall like Andy Dufresne? You need a fucking rock hammer for that, not a razor blade. Come on.
There was a jail call where she's talking to her daughter, who was 12 at the time, and crying, very manipulative, trying to get her to not talk about the murder. Very, very odd. She wore a sunflower mask to her pretrial hearings.
Like a COVID mask, you mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Sunflowers were Reagan's favorite flower. They had been at her wedding, which was, Taylor shot pictures of. So super creepy. The defense brought in experts who said that she had personality disorders and there was some shrinkage going on in the front part of her brain, but she was found competent to stand trial.
You got to push back against those shrinkage charges.
Yeah.
It was cold. My brain's normal size. There's nothing wrong with my brain. My brain's just like everyone else's brain. The pool was cold.
I always deny any shrinkage charges. And I let my lawyer handle the rest.
My brain is everything it should be and more.
On November 9th, 2022, the jury recommended death, and the judge sentenced Taylor to die. He told the bailiff to take her to death row, and Reagan's mom stood up and read a statement right to Taylor directly. She called her, quote, an evil piece of flesh demon.
I like it. Accurate.
She told her that everybody knew Taylor, thought it was all about her, but it wasn't. It was about Reagan and Braxton. And she said this, quote, my baby was alive, still fighting for her babies when you tore her open. Reagan's sister, Emily, said she was overwhelmed with the happiness that it was over, that this whole thing had been a burden on her for so long, which I can't believe it. I can't even imagine.
Because you got to think about that fucking bitch every day of your life and what's going to happen.
Yep. It's the same thing we did on patreon.com/Necronomipod. I'm
Nice.
stealing the gimmick.
Well done.
Whoa, look at that. Good for you, pal.
That was well done.
That was.
The murder of Megan McDonald, right? When you have to sit through and experience trials that just drag out and have these people be a part of your life for so long.
Yeah.
That would be horrible and just mentally and physically draining.
Every day. Absolutely.
A few days after the conviction, Homer filed a wrongful death and negligence suit against Taylor and also against Wade. The claim against Wade wasn't that he knew what Taylor was going to do. It was about the car that she'd fled in his Corolla and driven it recklessly with the baby inside. And the suit argued that since the car was his and he'd let a reckless driver use it, he'd carry some of the blame for Braxton's death. The trial itself had treated Wade as one of Taylor's victims, not like a part of it, right? I don't know. There's no details about how this whole lawsuit has turned out, so not much more to get into that.
I think we all kind of agree on Wade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
That's
was
an
just
uphill battle there.
Yeah, he was just looking for a family, I think. Maybe it started with the money thing. And I think you can make the argument that, he was in it because he knew he was going to get that big payday she promised him. But at some point he probably realized like, oh, that's not coming. I'm just now with this woman. She's pregnant with my child. I'm going to stay with her. I also want to say the first time I almost threw up or got really upset watching this documentary was the 911 call. The second was when they actually had video of Homer at the funeral. And that was one of the most like disheartening things I've ever seen in my life.
Man, that's rough watch.
When he runs up to the casket and just like sits by it and is holding it, like, oh my God, I had tears in my eyes watching that.
Yeah, I don't think letting someone use your car makes you culpable when you have a lunatic like that. So I don't know. I think Wade was just a good old boy, never meaning no harm.
Jeez.
That's just my personal opinion.
Taylor's appeals ran the next few years. Her side raised a whole stack of issues. The big two were the ones from the start that Braxton was born dead, so there was no kidnapping and no capital murder, and that the trial should have been moved. The court heard arguments in September of 2025, and on November 6th, 2025, they upheld it. The conviction and the death sentence both stood, and the court held that a jury could reasonably find Braxton had been born alive. So Taylor asked the U.S.
I would say so.
Yeah. So Taylor asked the U.S. Supreme Court to take it up, and on May 29th, 2026, so that's pretty fucking current, the Supreme Court declined, and that is the end of the direct appeals for Taylor. There's no execution date set for right now for Taylor. She's 33, the youngest woman on death row currently in Texas. She said others there call her the baby. She told an interviewer that for a long time she kept telling herself that she didn't do what people had said that she had done. And it was all lies. And that it changed when she looked at the autopsy pictures. She said that she doesn't believe she should ever go home, that her place is there on death row, and that you don't get to keep something that you took from somebody else, which is shocking accountability. I did not expect her to hold any accountability for what she did.
It's a real twist in the whole like insanity thing, right? Like almost like, you kind of knew what you were doing the entire time, and now you've just accepted your fate, and you're trying to take accountability for it a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. She's in the same facility as the woman that killed Selena, who J-Lo can thank for her career. So I wonder if J-Lo sends that lady a fruit basket every year as a thing. Maybe she shares it with Taylor.
They have a picnic together.
Yeah, that's right.
God damn. I do love that Selena movie, by the way. That was the first. I don't think I knew who Selena was whenever that movie came out, but I don't know. I became a fan.
I love anything that lets me look at J-Lo for a couple hours.
She really is getting better with age. Not to distract from this very serious story, but me gusta.
I watched her new rom-com on Netflix a couple weeks ago with the guy from Ted Lasso. It's okay. The story is ridiculous and stupid, as you might expect, but it entertained me for a little bit. I got to look at J-Lo for a while, so
are you talking about
happy.
Jason Sudeikis?
No, Brett Goldstein, the British comedian. I actually saw this guy do stand-up here in Cleveland about a year ago. He's pretty funny, but yeah.
I have not watched Ted Lasso. I know
Ted Lasso's awesome.
I know I would love it. I like those comedies, but
yeah.
I just haven't watched it.
You would like Ted Lasso. I think you would like it a lot. It's very
Aren't
good.
they doing a new season? They announced?
They are. Yeah. Coming up.
Reagan's family is raising Kinley. She's 8 years old right now, and they say that she looks just like her mom, and they remind her all the time of what a good mother she had. Reagan's sister Emily got married in 2024, and the family has spent a lot of time since pointing at the same thing, which is the law. There were doctors who had known Taylor couldn't be pregnant. Like we said, that the guy that took out her uterus knew, right? And he was watching her on social media. but there was nothing to be able to, they couldn't do anything to warn anyone close to Taylor. Doctors didn't do anything wrong. I don't know. I understand that the family wants some laws changed, but I don't know how you go about that. I'm sure there's probably ways to do it, but it's way above my head.
Look, if the doctor knew of impending crime or harm, you can notify police and stuff. I don't.
Yeah, they didn't know that. No one's thinking that.
Yeah.
You know,
That's tough.
I get what they're saying. I totally do. And we'd all be saying the same thing. But I don't know.
You can't reverse HIPAA laws to account for a one-off like this. You get the kind of fucking over surveillance society we got after 911 to overcorrect like that. Like you just can't do that. Can't account for every scenario.
The doctor he put everyone on high alert. He did what he could. No one thinks this, and you can't do that for everybody because not every situation is going to be like this. And then you're putting people's personal information out there, and then what kind of system are we working in?
Agree.
I feel like the doctor still went above and beyond by contacting hospitals to just put the warning out. What did as much as he could do?
Yeah. Even if he did what he said, you're not necessarily stopping a murder. Like the murder is probably going to happen anyways. I don't know.
I mean, he never would have thought this, right? His mind was that she was going to go to a hospital and steal a baby.
Right.
Yeah, you're talking about notifying every pregnant person in the area kind of scenario.
Right.
Like what they're talking about would not have even addressed the situation. I agree.
That being said, and I know you guys agree, like I understand where the family's coming from. And you would probably be saying, I would be maybe saying the same things.
Of course.
It's just a horrible situation.
This is a fucking terrible story, Ian. I'm really surprised you did this story for this evening. Wherever, what kind of asshole prompted you to do this story?
Dave just happened to be walking by for a midnight snack, saw a documentary on the TV, and said, "Oh,
right. What kind of filth are you watching in my home? Let me sit down and want to see what's doing here." Yeah, I don't know. What can you even say about this? Fucking, it's just awful. The lengths some people will go to,
Yeah.
There's not much else to say about it.
I'm actually not sure what's worse. I know we talked about it earlier. The 911 call or like the description of all the injuries that, or all the cuts and like, the damages that were done to Reagan. Both extremely just unsettling.
Yeah, that 911 call is one of the worst things I've ever heard.
It's horrible.
We talked about including it here. We don't want to play that, though.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
No.
Yeah, kind of, I remember there was a long time ago we kicked around the idea of doing like a 911 call show because that seems to be a thing that other shows have done, but that's not our vibe.
If we can do it for like UFO spottings or something like fun, that would be a really good time, I think.
But just like those reaction shows to like reacting just to 911 calls, that's kind of...
Yeah. Like there's good ones out there, like the cop and his wife who got weed brownies and thought that they were wherever and had to call 911. That kind of shit, that's fun, right. 911. Yeah. This kind of stuff.
The guy who put B-dub sauce on his dick and then it started burning, like that shit's funny.
Right.
Yeah, I'm all down
I wouldn't feel good at all about doing a 911 call about shit like this.
Well, that's like when I was doing the research for creepy audio episodes for Patreon, patreon.com/necronomapod.
God damn, pal. At some point, I must start charging you.
This guy's on.
But a lot of when you're kind of Googling around for creepy audio, a lot of people recommend 911 calls, right? Because they are very unsettling, but you don't want to listen to that shit on a fucking podcast.
No, I don't even think they should be part of public access stuff. Like you shouldn't be able to get that. Like, fuck you, man. You don't need to have access to everything.
Yeah, it's a tough, I don't know, system to navigate. I certainly agree. I don't want to make a show exploiting people's like literal worst moments.
That is for real what a 911 call is.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me feel good at all.
Like an oversight board or something investigating, malfeasance by the 911 department or something. Sure. But, I'm using emergency services in my town. Like my neighbors don't need to be able to hear that. Fuck you.
Yeah.
We don't need to go that far down the rabbit hole with public, public request laws, whatever you want to call it. Freedom of Information Act stuff. Get fucked. You shouldn't have access to that.
Yeah, I think I agree with all that. Yeah. I would do it like we said, a funny 911 call show would be good.
Yeah.
Not this shit.
I remember there was one with an old lady that called 911 because she couldn't get her beer bottles open. Like she needed it needed a fucking top opener and she couldn't, but she sounded like she was 90 years old.
See, that's all right. That'd be fun. I bet those cops
911
helped
sent
her
an
out.
officer over. They did.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, we'll get an officer over there for you.
I think I remember that. I don't know if you played that for me or if I heard that somewhere, but I remember that.
That's the fun of living in a small town when you have officers available to go open a beer bottle for an old woman who's stuck.
Well, they're doing nothing else, right? Just patrolling the town. And
you're in a safe town when the cops have time to do that shit.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, now we all feel great.
Ugh. Man, what a vile fucking story. I don't know what to even say. The depth of humanity, the depths people will go to. It's just shocking sometimes.
It's, yeah. I don't know. It's one of those like kind of no words kind of cases.
Yeah.
What do you even say about it?
I wonder, do you think most people who listen to us have already watched the documentary?
I'd say so.
Yeah, a good portion.
Yeah.
Probably. At least 50%, right? Probably 50-50, maybe a little more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they get the vibe of this one. Ian, anything else you found or discovered on your research, on watching the documentary, on your notes?
No, I don't have anything else.
Other than those are some big old fucking country boys and you don't want to fuck with them.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'm made for Texas.
I think on her execution date, they should go down and have a good old Ted Bundy style hoedown out in the parking lot and party.
Is that what
We
they
can go
did?
down there.
Did they do that for Ted Bundy?
Yeah, it was a big party
Was
outside.
it? Like
They
a
sold
tailgate type
T-shirts,
thing?
and it was a tailgate situation. Yeah.
God damn.
I don't know. I remember the news broadcasts from back then. Like they always show those in documentaries.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind getting my hands on one of those fucking T-shirts they were selling. Like if you could get a vintage one of those online. It had like Fry Bundy. It said it in like red and had a picture of him in a fucking electric chair.
So I will remind you guys that when we did the Ted Bundy show, we talked about taking that image and making our own T-shirts out of that because they're obviously not trademarked, and we can make those Fry Bundy shirts if we're so inclined. But
Nice.
5 years later, we still haven't done that. So.
Wow.
We'll see if I forget again after this.
Typical Necronomipod. That would be a cool shirt to have.
Yeah.
Like an original one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like a super punk rock kind of looking design and shit. Like it's real jaggedy drawn.
It was just some fucking hillbilly in Florida probably. He's like, Fry Bundy brought a bunch of the thing.
Dude, they were all lighting off fireworks and shit.
It was wild.
It was like my
scene,
perfect
man.
party.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect party. All right. Anything else on this one? We good?
I'm good.
This is a sad, depressing story.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
You know what's not depressing? People who sign up for Patreon, because they're getting about 7 years worth of content. Dave, what do you got for us?
Thank you to new patrons Sarah Barmore, Calcium, Seth G, Dimity Brown, Bonnie Blue Anderson. Oh, Bonnie Blue. You a fan of Bonnie Blue?
Oh, I only know her because of you, pal.
She likes the gangbangs. Likes the gangbangs. When sloppy seconds isn't good enough for you, take nasty 900th.
That's a wild record.
Dill 312, Tanya K, hiking to happiness. You know, I like to hike as well. A lot of ticks this season. I'm very nervous about going out in the woods this year. Unless you're covered head to toe. And when it's 97 degrees, like it's going to be tomorrow, you can't go out covered head to toe because it's a fucking nightmare. So
I have not been walking my 2 golden retrievers out in like any trails or anything because ticks are real bad. They
terrible. Lyme disease, nothing to fuck with.
Yeah.
Mason Ader, Keely Higgins, Madison Luke, Thomas Gidney, Catherine, Mrs. Baller, Chan, C-Dub, Ian H., Bitch with a Bassoon, Morgan Newman, Parker M., Evan, Dr. Floppy Foreskin, MD, Jada Hart, Adam Brangard, Heather Bowman. For the love of God, close your damn blinds. Good advice. Good advice.
Well said.
Danny, and Rounds 23. Thank you, new patrons, and please enjoy the archive.
Endless amounts of content available to you.
Endless years, in fact.
Well, 7.5 years, so maybe not.
That's a lot of years. Well,
it'll take you a long time to get through it. By then, you even forgot we said this. Ian, what do you got? Anything else on your end?
For Patreon, we've had a lot of good shows lately. We did Brenda Schaefer, which was a crazy story.
Yeah.
Then we did the Mio murders, which
Ian, Mayo murders.
Oh yeah,
you
Mayo,
were corrected
damn.
Severely for that mispronunciation.
I mean, it's MIO. It reads as Mio.
We usually look it up. We thought we did an assumption. You know what happens when you assume, though?
Yep.
What happens? I don't get it. What happens?
Somebody.
Apparently it's Mayo, though. Mayo. So we apologize to all you assholes that live in Michigan.
So yeah, we did that. Then we did the murder of Megan McDonald, part 2. We wrapped that up. And just recently posted Mike's History Corner, Presidential Foods.
A good time was had by all.
Yeah.
Yep. Good stuff.
The History Corner was part of the quarterly video show we do as well at the was it the Art Bell tier?
Yeah.
So you can,
That is at the Jim Jones tier.
I apologize. The Jim Jones tier.
Yeah.
You can watch us record it live on Zoom. We do a little interaction maybe throughout at points, maybe before and after, but still. Get to see how the sausage is made, which, you know, some people say not always the best thing. Dave, what else?
So just early warning, heads up, we are going to take the week off next week. We're doing a live show and whatnot. So I think we're going to release an old Patreon episode in place of a new episode next Sunday. So enjoy that. Get a taste of what's on Patreon for you. And we'll see you the following week.
We're going to be recovering, right? We're going to be hungover. We're going to be tired. We're going to be, figuring out all the mistakes we made at the live show and hating ourselves and burying our heads in the sand. Whatever it is, whatever it might be. We need a day.
It's a big thing for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll pick something a little more uplifting than the topic we covered tonight. Pick something fun from Patreon.
A palate cleanser, if you will.
Yeah.
But we'll be back in 2 weeks with a new show. So there's that.
And we'll have done a live show at the House of Blues.
Yeah. Look at us.
I hope it was good, future selves.
Yeah. Me as well. Hope I don't trip and fall like walking on stage or something. That'd be
Dude,
embarrassing.
You better knock on wood. Don't even put that on yourself.
Why'd you have to say that, pal?
See, now I'm being all over fucking heads. Like, I hope I don't trip and fall. That would actually be fantastic. Someone will have video of that, and that would be the greatest fucking thing.
Oh,
One of us tripped and fell. All right, we are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube at Necronomipod, patreon.com/Necronomipod, Amazon.com, search Necronomipod for all of our merch, and Necronomipod.com.
All right, you guys ready for a cool down beer?
Cheers.